like me. Bitch tryna ride on my back like a Mustang. See ya. I got a watch on my wrist, it's a bust down. See ya. I'm tryna hop on a flight out of town. See ya. But I send my baby to bring it around. See ya.
So Dandadan finally makes its return with season 2. Now I'ma keep it a buck. I absolutely love season 1 to death. Was really making it week to week because of this. So let's see if Science Saru can hit us with back-to-back bangers. Not gonna lie, after the cliffhanger of season 1 and Gigi's house, I read the manga to finish the arc, so I already know we gonna be fed good in terms of content and lore, but let's just see if the studio can do their part. Also, this is my first Dandadan video, obviously, so I hope y'all enjoy. So the first episode picks off right where the season finale left off, with all of these peeping Tom ass gators surrounding Momo, and they about to jump her ass too. I was watching this like, hey Momo, get your ass out of there now. And once one of them grown ass, lame ass men grabbed her up by both of her arms, I was scared shitless. I'm not gonna lie to you. She was not finna see Okaroon tomorrow. But that's when the fence fell down on him. But one of them manages to get past and grab Momo by her leg. But it wasn't long till the whole wall fell down on his ass. It was looking like the aftermath of another AMP 4th of July, I'ma be honest, revealing that this was due to Turbo Granny's luck. But for the rest of the video, I'ma call her TG, cause why not? And she's just chilling in the hot spring herself. Momo was like, what is you doing here, TG? And she's like, when Seiko mentioned Gigi's Addy, she clocked it in that there were hot springs in the area, so she had to do what she had to do. She snuck into Momo's bag. And Momo's right for real. Like, why didn't she just ask to come along? But TG just wanted to be extra with her season 2 entrance, bro. The feds pull up, and it turns out they're a part of the Kinto family, and they've been up to no good. Who woulda knew? Acting like a bunch of damn YNs running loose. So Momo asks TG if she saw Gigi's house and her thoughts about it, cause she didn't see or feel anything. But that's when TG said that the house was a no bueno house and that it was soaked up in too much human blood. The POV then switches to Okaroon and Gigi admiring the hole in the wall they made, leading to the hidden room. Okaroon says that they should wait until Momo comes back because, in all fairness, they're kinda sorry without her. So the doorbell rings and they're like, oh, Momo's back. Hey yo, Momo, there's some weird shit. Hey, you ain't Momo. So Auntie pulls up with her book club ass group, sitting like a damn mafia boss, like she owns the damn place or some. And good lord, please tell me that these aren't Gigi snacks, bro. I tell you, if anyone came into my crib and started downing all my snacks, they'd be getting straight belt. And Granny was like, yeah, you better act nice, boy. You ain't gotta pay rent because of me. And never mind, I take it back. She does own the place. You got it, Auntie. You can sit however you want. That's when Gigi explains to Okaroon that since his parents are hospitalized right now, he ain't gotta pay rent. And it's thanks to them that he can stay in this house. So Auntie was pressing Gigi because he left the house without telling them. And he was like, oh, my friend was just trying to visit the crib, so you know I had to scoop him, you feel me? And Auntie was low-key not buying it, bro. She was like, you better not have brung another Ghostbuster head-ass nigga into my house, eh? And the rest of them start pressing him too because they ain't want to spread their bad rep in the area. But Gigi was like, look at him. Does he really look like a spirit medium? And he's low-key right. But Auntie then quick draws a double barrel out of thin air, talking about some, you know, shit happens in the woods all the time. It would be a damn shame if you were to just disappear while I was hunting for a boar or some shit. And points it at Gigi. Gigi was trying to de-escalate it, saying, whoa, Auntie, calm down. You ain't gotta pull that out on me. Besides, if you pointed at me, you could get in some big trouble with the police. And coincidentally, the cops pull up through the front door and sees this. But it's already too late because that cop was a sellout to the whole damn family and also bailed out the freaky ass, lame ass, grown ass, gator ass men that were harassing Momo. So one of the guys were like, hey Gigi, where you been? To where he was like, oh, I was just out with a friend. But he's like, hey bro, don't lie to me, bro. So he was like, who's this guy? And Gigi was like, oh, this is Okaroon. He's just my best friend. He wants to visit type shit. You get me? And the guy was like, oh, if you really Gigi's best friend, what's his favorite football team? But Okaroon comes in with the clutch and said PSG or PXG for my Blue Lock readers. And W Okaroon with his observation skills because he saw the poster on the wall. But this is where all that hard clutch from Okaroon goes to waste because GG sells from medium pressure because Auntie was like, hey GG, when is that girl coming back, huh? And GG proceeds to say, what you mean, Auntie? What girl? As if he didn't come running to open the door and said Momo's name out loud. Oh my gosh, but that's all they needed to hear. So Momo comes to the Tsuchinoko shrine and sees this guy doing a handstand, and it turns out he's trying to become like a bootuber or some shit. And he seems like mad chill. He just gotta be consistent with it, and I'm sure that he'll make it. And when Momo sees the Tsuchinoko, she pretty much gets scammed, bro. And even the bootuber agreed that that shit ain't look like the Tsuchinoko. Bro does not get paid enough to keep this secret. Hell, he doesn't even get paid at all to keep this secret. Honestly, bro, just go in all with this bootuber shit, because respectively, you can't have possibly anything else to lose. And he says that it's supposedly from when the giant snake got molted, and nowadays by enshrining that snake skin, it prevents the volcano from erupting. And Momo was like, then what about the Tsuchinoko? But he just flat out says that his pops said that it would attract more people if they called it that. And I mean, shit, it worked, because she's there. Momo ends up walking back to the house, saying that Okaroon is going to be disappointed because he was looking forward to it, but maybe he'll like the local folktale. And as she returns to the house, she opens the door and sees both Okaroon and Gigi on the ground with no shirt, and all the men that were harassing her earlier had nothing on but their undies, their tidy whities, and they have them niggas laid out, bro. Like, this shit looks like a damn Diddy party, probably giving them straight BTA with that big ass fan, literally. Momo immediately locked in and wasted no time, dropped the bag, and immediately dropped this guy with her signature roundhouse to the neck. Next guy with the glasses tries running up on her, but she hit him with the Trafalgar Law room and connected her knee to his dome, straight inverted this nigga's nose. Two more guys try and follow up, and this grown ass man is yelling boobies. Yeah, bro, get this nigga out of here, bro. Keep this nigga locked up. Momo ducks the hammer swing from him, weaves it again, and knocks this nigga to the door with a kick. This guy swings the fan on her, and it gives the other guy a lob to hit her with a mean gut check, but just in time, Momo blocks it with her powers. Right when she lands, she grabs the table, and it was lights out for that nigga, bro. Had to get her get back tenfold and kick this shit out of this nigga's balls, bro. Yeah, bro ain't reproducing a child in this lifetime no more. This guy sneaks Momo and bear hugs her and hits her with a mean headbutt to try and knock her out. And he grabs her thigh too, like, you are doing too much. Stop touching her, creep, or you gonna hear about it from me, Nick. But TG comes in with a clutch, scaring the unk for him to slip and fall and hit his head on the table. Now, everyone else trying to recuperate and kind of surround her, but Auntie dashes in to hit Momo with a double kick, knocking her back into the TV. They knew to let Auntie run her ones, run the ISO, starts chasing after Momo and throwing combos at her at that, but Momo blocks it. Very impressive. She tries to grab the couch and catch a body, but Auntie can move as well. Straight W keys to Momo after that and tries to combo her again, but Momo's weave game is actually kind of crazy. Like, I was low-key watching this like, hey, I ain't know Momo had them attributes for real. Momo starts darting everything in the vicinity at Auntie, but Auntie's just parrying everything. Tried to sneak in the unk just for him to get smacked to the side. Straight dash, and Momo high keys blocking these strikes from Auntie, but sadly, she hit her with a Jennifer Lopez Anaconda double fist, knocking Momo through the walls into the separate room of the house. This is where Auntie drops the lore that they are the ones who are responsible for keeping the village safe by inviting human sacrifices to the house and sacrificing them to the Great Serpent Lord, cause the original altar was on those grounds, and she put 2 and 2 together. That explains why Gigi's parents are hospitalized right now. So then the ground under Momo starts to sink in, so she grabs onto the hole to pull herself out, but they are just guarding that hole to make sure none goes through. Defense to the extreme, I'm telling you, acting like AMP having 10 security guards at the gate for Rakai, and just smacks her back into the pit. But Okaroon and Gigi come in with a clutch and push the table onto them to push them into the pit. And as Okaroon tries to get Momo out of the quicksand, the weight of everyone has them all fall into the pit. Okaroon and Momo land safely, sorta, and Okaroon, don't think we ain't see that, bro. Good catch, gang. But Gigi is holding onto dear life onto the ledge, and as it breaks off, Momo's range ain't enough to catch him, and as he's about to pull a Gwen Stacy from Spider-Man 2, he ends up falling onto the serpent's back as it reveals its weird ass, ugly ass face shape. Oh my goodness. So the Kinto family pull up like they did damn Ninja Turtles talking to the serpent while Momo saves Gigi. And that's when Okaroon remembers reading about it and that it's actually a giant man-eating worm that is usually said to be 2 meters tall, which is still scary, but the point is, they've been feeding this nigga good, bro. So they start doing a little dance while Momo tries to tell him that, hey, it's just a man-eating worm, but...
Hey, bro, watch your jet. Watch your jet, bro. Watch your jet!
The worm just wipes him off the damn map. Momo suggests for them to hide inside the house. Okaroon ain't stick the landing and Momo was watching like, damn nigga, get up. But they both get in and some weird shit is happening to them and they just start tweaking out. Had me concerned like, come on. Gigi's trying to stop Okaroon from tweaking out by throwing him around the room. And then he grabs a box cutter and tries to commit seppuku. Like, nigga, chill. Gigi holds him down though, and he sees that they about to be sniped by the worm, so Gigi grabs him out of there. That's when Gigi realizes that the worm is reacting to the sound and vibrations made throughout the house. Okaroon tries to off himself again with a pair of scissors, saying to let him die, and that's when Gigi gets the flashback to when he saw his parents try to do the same thing to themselves, and when he saved them, his mom said the same thing. Momo starts tweaking out too, and is about to commit seppuku with a glass shard, but TG comes in with another clutch 2 for 2 and acts as a pillow to stop Momo. Gigi ties Okaroon and Momo up, and that's when TG reveals that the worm is emitting psychic waves to make people off themselves that are inside the house. Gigi asks how he's unaffected by it, but that's when Momo starts using her powers to get glass shards and rain them down on her, but Gigi gets in front of her to take the hit. Oh my goodness, what a real friend, a real homie, a real nigga. He might have been trying to play D on Okaroon when he came in, but after this, how can you hate bro for real? Momo tries to do it again, but Gigi takes the shard to the arm, grabs them all, and starts running throughout the house to get out. But this guy slips and falls down a flight of stairs. Oh my goodness. Good hustle though, Gigi. They both try to jump off the ledge, and the worm is looking right at them. But that's when we see this ugly ass thing. Oh my goodness. From the bowl cut to the big ass nose to the eyes and the mouth, you are a 50 overall with no type of badges, buddy. But Momo and Okaroon regain their sanities, and it turns his head like a damn owl. Oh my goodness, I'm just getting sick by looking at this nigga. But TG gives us the info, being that yokai is called Evil Eye, and for them not to look it in the eye, as its gaze will make you go insane and off yourself. But right now, since the Evil Eye's curse and the worm's wave are both canceling out, Momo tells Okaroon to attack the worm since it isn't moving, and he chops its mouth off. Oh my goodness. But it just grows a new mouth and it starts attacking again. So they just start doing the dash, and TG reminds them not to look it in the eye. And Gigi, with the danger senses of a damn acorn, doesn't even try to cover his eyes and ends up looking right into them. We then end up getting the backstory to the Evil Eye as a kid, I guess, looking out at the other kids dancing from the shed thing, also wishing to be able to play with them, and we see that he was actually the first sacrifice. And Auntie, is that you? Damn, you old as shit. You was really operating this shit from the whole start, no troll, all the way back then to the Duke Dennis age. What did bro do to even deserve this though? Like, this is just wrong. We then see his ghost appear in this house that was built over the altar with a family of 3 just eating and chilling. And the kid notices him, but his parents then drown themselves. Another family is seen and the parents just murk themselves too. And this just gets even sadder, bro, cause it looks like the kid that has the same shitty ass bowl cut as the Evil Eye we just saw a few minutes ago sees him and tells his parents that there's a ghost in the house, and he starts freaking out. But to calm him down, the Evil Eye starts doing the dance that he saw the other kids do, and bro is low-key not hitting that shit. I'ma keep it a buck. He's looking like Kozuki Oden hitting this shit. But Then the parents end up murking themselves too. Oh my goodness. And that's when the evil eye notices that there's something below the house that's making them do this. We then see Auntie with a spades looking ass cut with 2 other members of the Kinto family pull up and say that the kid is now going to be an offering to the great serpent lord and they'll bury him with the house and all. Is that not OD? You mean to tell me that every time you've had a sacrifice, you were not only burying the victim, but burying the whole damn house in the same spot and no one batted an eye? Like, how can you even do this low key? So the evil eye trying to untie the kid, like it ain't already wraps for them. Like they are all buried alive, bro. But since he's a ghost, his hands just pass through. And damn, they stripped this little nigga to his drawers too. This is so cooked. Auntie should be locked up for this, bro, because this is just bad. But this formed a grudge between humans and the evil eye. And so he merged with the kid, giving him the form that we see in the present. Momo trying to tell Gigi to lock in, and she tries to pull the evil eye off of him, but bro really has him in a leg and headlock. And Okaroon is really fighting his own battle, trying to run away from the worm to act as a diversion. But Gigi then pleads Evil Eye's case, saying that he's not a bad guy and that he's been fighting alone and suffering the entire time. So Gigi tries to run down to the Evil Eye's body in the shed. And this yokai looking and perched on him like a damn monkey, bro. He even got his hands and toes gripping on his shoulders. Now, if that was me personally, I'd have to sumo slam anyone who can think that they can perch onto me, not gonna lie. So as Gigi makes it to the evil eye shed, and we see the evil eye's body all bone and shit, and honestly this is just sad, man. And Gigi starts sympathizing with it, and TG trying to warn him like, hey bro, don't do it, he drives niggas to insanity and booms themselves. But Gigi's like no, and that he's the same, although he does look a little different. So the worm sends a shockwave to electrocute them, and the worm is just releasing this orange sticky goo like substance. And Momo's like, damn, where the fuck is this nigga Okaroon? And we see Okaroon on the edge of a random house slept, and he can't move. As Momo tries to use her powers to escape with Gigi, we then see Gigi is knocked out like a light, drooling and all, and we see that he is now in the evil eye's backstory and sees how much he was suffering, being that all he wanted to do was play. And being the kind-hearted young man Gigi is, he asks the evil eye what he wants to play, saying a lifetime isn't enough and that he'll hang out with him as much as he wants. And pretty much like a random nigga on another episode of Could Have Been Records, pretty much signed away their life to a 360 deal, and he starts tweaking out. As the worm comes back and is about to eat them whole, Gigi hits the worm with a nasty right hook of doom. So much force, his pants even ripped off, like damn. He then kicks that worm's head off straight to heaven, slicing its mouth off. But we then see that it ain't Gigi, but it's the evil eye possessing Gigi's body. As Momo is admiring the aura farm, because shit, I was too, I'm not gonna lie. TG gives her the heads up to brace herself, and that's when the evil eye wastes no time and kicks my girl Momo and TG across the shed. And good thing Momo braced herself, because he then came in with another kick to hold her up against the wall. Bro's dogs are out and are gripping Momo's arm. Yeah, bro, we gonna have a big problem, bro. You do not want to catch these hands or feet by me on bro. Momo tries to tell Gigi to lock back in, but Evil Eye's like, hey bro, shut your ass up. Who do you think you was talking to right now? This body is mine, and I'm about to show humans what they should consider hell for real. He then notices that the worm grew back its mouth and is about to charge another shockwave attack at them, but he then spawns a little house-shaped force field around himself and Momo to block the attack. He then transforms it into a ball and sends that shit straight through the worm, and it ricochets off the wall, and he's just pretty much putting holes in the worm at this point with his shots. And look at this, hit him with a back heel, tap lift, and 3-piece this nigga, bro. That worm is cooked, bro. That worm has as many holes as Squidward's clarinet, bro. And right now, he is just aura farming, bro. He's just flexing how many keep ups he can do. Like, scouts, what are you doing? Get this nigga in blue lock ASAP. I know Rin would love to have another player that has their life on the line like this, bro. So the worm is trying to escape through the dirt, and Momo is confused on how Gigi ended up like this, and that's when TG reveals that Seiko wasn't capping when she was glazing him, calling him a genius and all that, being that he had such a strong spiritual pressure and high physical power at that. And because of this, the evil eye was targeting him to use him as a vessel. Even TG was jealous, saying that she wishes she could have possessed him herself. Momo is in disbelief because Gigi didn't seem like that back then, but TG makes a good point, saying that everyone has their own timing for awakening because Momo just recently awakened her powers. Right when Momo gets up, Evil Eye is just giving her the meanest side eye, like, you do not want to mess with this nigga, he looks like he's on bad timing. And as she squares up, he then hits the ball up and does a damn spin move looking like a ballerina and volleys the ball at her. Now Momo is able to block it with her powers, and this should look like a scene straight out of Izuma 11 if I'm keeping it a buck. But Evil Eye straight W keys her and hits her with a mean gut check, sending her straight to the wall. And as Evil Eye is about to deliver the final blow with his volley, that's when my GOAT Okaroon comes in like he Luffy saving Law from Doflamingo and clashes with Evil Eye. I was surprised they ain't split the damn sky with all that hockey usage. So the ball dissipates due to it, and Okaroon wasn't even on the ground for a second, and Evil Eye was already charging that direct shot at him. But Okaroon picks up Momo and hits the dash. Look at this ball control. Oh my goodness, Nagi fans, you wish that was your GOAT, huh? And Evil Eye gotta have aim assist or something, because the ball somehow ends up locked on them every bounce and almost put them both on a t-shirt if Momo ain't use her powers to try and block it. But the impact made them restart a floor. I'm just saying, if this guy was on Manshine instead of another person in particular, then they probably would have won. I don't know. But Momo uses her powers to raise them back up. But Evil Eye started blamming off the rip. Yeah, bro was definitely cheated. Hit him with a 1-2 combo. But Okaroon is zooming like he missed the bus. Zooming like his mom told him to be home yesterday. But Evil Eye had to take a cooldown because he was spamming that minigun volley. So as Okaroon and Momo are in the clear for now, Okaroon says that they gotta escape. And Momo's like, well duh, Captain Obvious. If it was that easy, we would have been gone by now. She then asks if the earthworm has a weakness, and Okaroon says that it's sunlight, being that they have a symbiotic relationship with bacteria. So Momo's freaking out because it ain't looking too good, and Gigi turned into if Captain Underpants and Isagi Yoichi had a child. Okaroon spits some game though, saying that he might be able to do something, but if it's just her. Momo rejects that idea, being that there's no point if they both don't get out of this shit alive. That's what we all want for real. A ride or die type of bond. A Bonnie and Clyde type of bond. Okaroon tells her to lock in though, being that they don't got time to be dilly-dallying, and says that when she's out, she can try to save them. Momo worried about Gigi too, but Okaroon's like, yeah, I'll handle that nigga alright, and tells her that she needs to escape so that she can try to save them. So she holds his hand and looks him right in them damn eyes and promises to save him, and tells him to save Gigi as well. And he's like, I bet. So Okaroon is under this chair with Momo on it, and the game plan is to pretty much kick her up and have her powers do the rest like a multi-stage rocket. Gave this girl no prep time whatsoever to even pray to the Lord and Savior, and sent her straight up. When she reached max height with the chair, she pushes herself onto the opening of the house, and she doesn't reach. I mean, I guess she forgot that she had powers, I guess, because she locked back in and used her powers to grab onto the wall. But nonetheless, I'm glad that she made it and she ain't cracked her skull open from the fall damage in the process. As Okaroon sees that she made it, he then gets hit with the domain expansion, and that smile was gone. Evil Eye was like, found you, like they was playing hide and seek or something. And he tells Okaroon to rejoice as he'll be the first one to die. But Okaroon just locks in and told Evil Eye that he was gonna get his get back. So Momo gets up looking for some rope to try and save him, and as a last resort, she uses the curtains, and she was putting in that work tearing and tying it up just for that shit to be ineffective. They really need Rapunzel in that bitch or something. I swear she got more length than that makeshift rope. As Momo was trying to think of another plan, she remembers that sunlight is the worm's weakness. She also notices that her phone is gone, and she's a stronger person than me, cause I would have dove back into that pit like my middle name was Phelps just to find it. But she gathers some books, turns the stove on, and commits arson to burn the house down as a last resort to save them. So Okaroon is hitting the dash and the ball is chasing after bro like it got a grudge against him. Yeah, I'm convinced that this shit has heat seek or something, bro. But Evil Eye already caught bro and sent a volley to the dome, but he dodged it just in time. He is not Don Lorenzo. That head game ain't that strong. Pause. Right when bro landed, he hit the "he's right behind me, isn't he?" and dodged another point blank volley. At this point, Okaroon was just running up and down through the place, and right when he landed, thinking that he could catch his breath, he dodged an uppercut from Evil Eye. Oh my goodness, let my nigga take a breather, please. Matter of fact, where did your ass even spawn from? Can you teleport? But he took his sweet ass time walking to Okaroon at the start. I see what type of man you are, Evil Eye. Dodges the ground punch, but Okaroon hit him with a double fist, or should I say the Jennifer Lopez, but that shit did nothing. Evil Eye even had to throw him off of him because of that foolishness, and Okaroon couldn't even blink because the ball was already coming at him at Mach speed. This the last thing niggas in gym class see when the dodgeball sweat gets his hands on the ball. Okaroon leaps into the air, but the ball was only bait for him to get kneed into the gut. Okaroon drop kicks Evil Eye from behind somehow. I don't know how he pulled that off, but Evil Eye threw one back fist and Okaroon moved his ass on like he ain't hit bro first. Honestly, Okaroon, you kinda looking a little pussy. Evil Eye ain't tripping though. He spawns back the ball, kicks it at Okaroon, distracted bro, and was in his face the next second. Okaroon flash steps behind him though. Evil Eye activates his Renegon. Yeah, he ain't playing no more games. Had that ball hit Okaroon right in his jaw. Too bad he ain't got that John jaw strength. And caught the nastiest elbow. Okaroon only opened one eye, and I just know his life flashed before his eyes right then and there. But he manages to get away. So Evil Eye was like, "Take the hit like a man, or are you too pussy?" But Evil Eye freaky, he likes the chase. I don't know why bro standing like that. He got a snatched waist though, I won't lie. He starts bleeding though because of the poison, and Gigi's body is nearing its limit. So he uses his Renegon again and traps Okaroon in that house of screams and sorrow, and he can't get out. And Evil Eye walks in, says that he's home. It was looking no bueno for my boy Okaroon. Dodged the right, but the knee did him in. Then he hit him with a mean left and just began to throw straight haymakers at Okaroon while laughing and smiling menacingly like he's Sukuna when he was whooping Jogo's ass back in Shibuya. Nah, but Evil Eye was giving Okaroon straight BTA. But he had Momo's name in his mouth, and that's when Okaroon shut that damn lip himself, had bro frozen in fear. So he was like, "Give me back my Nakama!" Evil Eye slapped his hand out of the way. He was done with all that yapping. Hit bro with the right, but Okaroon dodges it like he Gojo or something. Evades the knee, gets even lower, and uppercuts the shit out of him. He then starts clobbering Evil Eye with the Muda special. Evil Eye thought he had an opening after 20, but Okaroon starts it right back up again, and this shit had me hype. Shit had me like Lex Luthor screaming 1A at my screen. But Okaroon managed to destroy that house by using Evil Eye as a punching bag, knocking out his ass cold. Okaroon blacks out, but he gets right back up trying to figure out a way to get out. He tries dragging Gigi's body along as well, but that body was mad hefty. He then hears TG in the distance stuck in that orange goo and tries to get her out as well. Bro using all of his might to try and pull her out, but he ends up tripping and getting them both stuck. And they both start crying out for Momo to save them. Like, this was honestly frying me, I can't lie. So we see a cop asking Momo if she started the fire, and hold up. Is that you, sellout cop? Yeah, GG's. Don't even waste your breath on him, Momo. He ain't hearing nothing you have to say. So bro told her to get in the car, but she knows her rights, and she ran to the firefighters to tell them to spray water at the ground. But that's when an earthquake happens, and the cops really talking about some stay calm and not to move. I know your ass is not talking to me. I want to live. Best believe I'm doing the dash. But that's when the earthworm comes out of the ground, and everyone starts doing the dash like the earthquake wasn't the first red flag. So the earthworm starts disintegrating, but tries to hide behind the wall to keep itself alive. Momo sees this and is like, "Oh hell nah!" Picks up the fire truck and slams it against the wall to break it so the worm can meet the Lord. Momo ain't let that guard down either. She was really trying to scrap up with it, making sure that it was dead, but it then vomits out the members of the Kinto family it swallowed up. Mad that they survived, but hey, shit happens, I guess. So another earthquake happens and Auntie was like, look what you have done. This is all because of that damn phone. And we see the volcano begin to erupt. And the PA system was like, attention, attention, the volcano's erupted. Please evacuate. If you still happen to be in the village, what the fuck are you doing? Get your ass out of there. So Auntie is just blaming Momo because since she murked the giant earthworm that the volcano was erupting, but Momo's like, wait a minute, why is there a legend about a dragon rising to heaven if earthworms can't take the sun? And that's where she realized that the legend isn't about the earthworm, but the fountain being the sign that the volcano was finna erupt. So Momo picks up that damn worm, tosses it over the mountain, starts running towards the hot spring with the tail to plug the fountain, runs back up the mountain while outrunning the entire Kinto family. By the way, yeah, they gotta go hop on a damn treadmill or something. I know she got some psychic powers, but there's no excuse. That ain't add to her stamina. Y'all just slow as shit. But we see that Momo's plan is to use the worm as one big hose to put out the magma. Now at first I was like, what the fuck is she doing? But let me just apologize real quick for doubting Momo's amazing IQ play. That will be the first and last time I'll do that shit. So Momo's putting out the fire with her makeshift worm hose, but she realizes that the affected area was greater than she thought and questions if the wildfire would end up being worse than the magma itself. But Auntie drop kicks Momo, had her tumbling too, thought Momo got sent to heaven for a second. But the Kinto family pull up on Momo, pressing her about disrespecting the earthworm's body. But she says that she's trying to put out the magma, and I'm sitting here like, y'all are both trying to save the village. Auntie, shut your ass up and hit the volcano with a Jennifer Lopez anaconda fist or something. But she says that outsiders should stay out of it and that she'll make Momo the sacrifice to stop Lord Volcano's wrath. And Momo's like, damn, y'all really switching up on your god that fast? Lame, man. And as they're about to jump Momo pretty much, that's when the bootuber comes in with a flying kick to save Momo. He then reveals that Seiko is actually his master, and a week ago she told him that Momo and them would be in his ends and just hung up after that. And the bootuber low-key got hands, made this guy look up, get your ass out of here, sweep the boobies guy, broke his jaw and sent him flying, gave this guy the elbow and straight minks. Next one tries to sneak him, grabbed him by the arm, flipped him like a rotisserie chicken. Now I was already rocking with bro as it was, but after this he is solidified as a goat. So Momo grabs the worm and tries to put out more of the fire and magma. But that's when someone starts putting holes in the worm and I was like, ah shit, demon home. And Evil Eye knocks out the Kinto family and W keys Auntie. He ain't forget about what she did back in the day. Charged up that axe kicks of hell and broke her arm, and she would have been taken out the map if Momo ain't save her. And I was like, Momo, why are you saving the ops? What are you doing? Like, I know it was in goodwill of Gigi so he wouldn't become a murderer, but still, the sun would have still shined the next day if you took her out. The earth would have kept spinning. But Evil Eye flash stepped, bro, and he was fiending for that body. But my favorite bootuber came in with the flying kick to stop him. Evil Eye spun around though, gave him the axe kick of doom, had him holding his head so it wouldn't fall off, and almost put bro 6 feet under, literally and figuratively, if Momo ain't pull him out. Momo tries pressing him about where's Okaroon at, but Evil Eye was just like, I'll talk about what I want to talk about. Like, what? Even my goat knew his place, saying that he couldn't compete with Evil Eye. Auntie's still running her mouth about how it's all Momo's fault, which is funny because if she ain't sacrificed Evil Eye in the first place, then her arm wouldn't have been taken out of commission. But Momo tells her to quit it with the whining and that they gotta team up for the one time. Evil Eye starts dashing towards them. Momo tells them to get down because of the grudge ball. Good comms, Momo. But she looks up and Evil Eye's right in front of her, about to take her out. But my goat kicks her out of the way just in time. Auntie came in with a Jennifer Lopez anaconda, knocking Evil Eye on his side, but he just looks right at her. And Momo pulled her out before he sent her to the Lord himself. Momo really acting like the support main in this tag team trio, and she's high-key doing good. holds Evil Eye's upper body so the VTuber can sweep his ass, and Momo held his legs together too, but the grudge ball came in and just destroyed her spirit hands, and Evil Eye wasted no time, knocked the VTuber to the tree and broke the trunk in half. Yeah, kiss that handstand dream goodbye, my goat. It was a good run. He W keys Momo, about to hit her with the Orewa Striker da if it wasn't for Mr. Mantis Shrimp with the right hook. After that, he just started landing straight haymakers at Evil Eye, putting him on the defense, pushing him back. And Momo's like, what you doing here? What about your son, gang? But that's when we see a beam of light from a UFO, and we see the ones descending from the ship are Taro and the goat Seiko, and she's just aura farming with the bat in hand, sig in mouth. It was beautiful, don't get me wrong. Even Momo was shocked. Even Evil Eye had to respect the aura farming instead of getting in the way. Seiko jumps off Taro after using him as a human surfboard and charges at Evil Eye with Mantis Shrimp to jump him. Knock bro into slumber with the grudge ball, cause he was trying to run the ones with Seiko from one aura farmer to another, and they was getting active, I tell you. Weave the bat, Seiko dodges the kick, catches the follow up with the bat parry to the sky. He flips over the bat, tried to lunge at her, but Seiko evades. What made this shit sad was the fact that Mantis was trying to sneak bro, but somehow was the only one taking the hits. Seiko tries to get a hit in, but Evil Eye flips over the bat again, weaves the bat, she weaves the right, and at this point they just trying to see who can get the first hit in. But my girl Seiko jaw checked him, landing the first blow. She dodges the follow-up, and as Evil Eye was about to stomp her into the ground, she threw her sig at his face and got out of the way. Oh my goodness, the disrespect is crazy. They clashing, and I'm just shocked how Evil Eye ain't lose his ankles with the amount of times the bat hit it. But that's when she tags Taro in. He got into sprinter position and hit the dash towards them. As Seiko is keeping Evil Eye occupied, Taro heads towards Evil Eye and bro just obliterated Taro. No!
Psych!
Seiko tagged Taro's body with seals inside, so they just hit a team ult with the VTuber doing the enchantment, and Taro's body reconstructed over Evil Eye's body, pretty much sealing him in Taro's body. I guess we know where Momo got her battle IQ sense from. And look at this shit. Holy aura farm straight out of Ninja Storm after you beat the opponent. But they definitely hit that shit on, bro. Don't get me wrong. This shit was fire. So the UFO is carrying the worm in order to put out the magma and wildfire. And the ship is actually being flown by the Mantis Shrimp's son. How cute. So Seiko's pressing the VTuber because she gave him the heads up, but he apologizes and says that she gave him bad comms. So Momo and Mantis Shrimp run towards the house, and as she tries to clear the rubble, she sees that she can't use her powers at the moment, but Mantis Shrimp tells her to watch her jet as he cleared that shit out of the way for her. We see that the lava has already filled the hole, but she's determined to save Okaroon because she promised him. But that's when Lil Homie pulls out a covered magma shell kind of thing, and Momo really burning her hands right now trying to break into it. As we see Okaroon and TG inside, we see that the earthworm's mucus coated the room that they were in, and that's what saved them from the lava. So Momo helps Okaroon out of there, and he trips onto her chest, and he's all flustered and shit, you know, classic anime trope, but Momo hugs him, glad that he's safe and alive. So we pick up this episode with Granny Seiko, Momo, and Okaroon trying to do an exorcism on Evil Eye in Taro's body, it seems. But when they check, Buddy is still in there. So they shut Taro's face back on, like they just slammed the door in his face. That's low-key disrespectful, bro. Mid-sentence, and you're just forced to shut up. And bro can't even do none. He just gotta take it like a good boy. All that Renegon power bullshit, all that football blue lock at bullshit, and he can't do nothing. They started back up, and this time Taro's body starts tweaking out like he hitting the Louisiana Jigger song. And they check again, and he's still there. And you can just tell bro is just getting pissed at this point. Shit, I can't even blame him. They had a whole fire on next to him. When it's mad hot and someone pulls some foolishness on me, I drop them before my patience meter drops from 10 to 1, bro. Look at these eats, bro. Why and how is this shit so detailed? Shit looks better than the second season of Blue Lock altogether. But deadass though, this shit made me mad hungry, bro. Hold up. My bad, I just had to get some Shanghai real quick. I was mad hungry. So we see the gang feasting. I don't know why Mantis Shrimp really playing with his food like that. Ira is complaining about not being called over with the whole evil eye thing, acting like she was gonna be of any help. Shorty just got her powers, but Momo was still telling her how to use them. I mean, it's low-key no different from Okaroon, but the point is that she don't know who she raising her voice at. Eating Momo's food in Momo's own damn house. Like, this shit is pissing me off, bro. Shut that damn lip, Sakura. She then starts taking shots at Mantis Shrimp about coming back to Earth, but he explains that since his planet is filled with a watery substance that sends oxygen right to their lungs, it's hard to milk the cow, and Chiquita can't survive without drinking milk. So they just decided to live on Earth altogether. Okaroon is just geeking out, and honestly, there's just so much shit going on, but we focus on Seiko and Manjiro's conversation about holding a Hayashi performance, but for now, Gigi has to stay in Taro's body for a bit. The problem with the exorcism though is that since Gigi got mad spiritual energy, they're unsure if they can actually separate him from Evil Eye, and if so, it might leave Gigi with some long-term side effects. So Taro starts to dig into the food, and the food was mad hot, but we hear Gigi's voice and bro is just lost and confused, and rightfully so, cause bro is literally in another nigga. Hey, yo! But Granny Seiko still got her guard up, being that evil spirits can mimic voices to trick others. So everyone's teed up right now, and as she tells Taro to open his face, and notice how Ira ain't even in this frame, bro would have done jack shit in the last arc, I'm telling you. But as he opens up his face, we see Gigi making this dumbass face, bro. Bro is not serious. But that's when Seiko realizes that by splashing water at Gigi, being that when it's cold water, he transforms into Evil Eye, and when it's hot, it reverts him back. Seiko then apologizes to Gigi, Momo, and Okaroon, being that if she'd known Evil Eye was gonna be there, she would have pulled up off rip. TG asking if they think that they can keep Evil Eye in check, being that he was originally a mountain spirit and they're just basically looked at as gods among spirits. And as of right now, Evil Eye is just an infant and he'll only grow stronger, which is low-key crazy to think about because basically as a newborn, Evil Eye was solo squatting these niggas. But Seiko says that they'll have him on heavy surveillance and for him not to leave Kamigo City. She then gives everyone a thermos with hot water, being that Taro's barrier won't last long with the spirit of Evil Eye's caliber, and Seiko gives Gigi the heads up that even the slightest bit of cold water can make him transform. So basically, if he drinks cold water on a sunny hot day, he's fucked. If he gets into the shower before it warms up, he's fucked. If a drop of rain lands on him while he's outside watching a football game, he's fucked. I mean, he'll be doing keep-ups, but still, he's fucked. We then find out that Mantis Shrimp is actually a live-in worker at a dairy farm nearby, so it's pretty much a win-win for him and the dairy farm. Oh, and I kid you not, his name is Peeny Weenie. You can't tell me that the mangaka for Dandadan doesn't have the time of his life when writing this shit out, bro. Like, how are you going to name a character Peeny Weenie, publish the chapter for all to see, and go on making the rest of the manga? Like, nigga, what? So the gang is in the car and they're going to the hospital for Gigi to see his parents, and they're strapped up with the hot water. Yeah, they definitely not lacking. Their pinkies touch and Okaroon's a little shy and embarrassed, but Momo decides to make the first move, telling Okaroon to put his hand back on the seat. They start to enter a tunnel with their hands touching, being all cute and shit, but Gigi's ass had to ruin it by complaining about how Taro won't listen to him. Buddy, that ain't her problem. What do you want her to do about... This nigga really couldn't let his homeboy cook for 2 seconds. What's frying me though was the fact that Seiko was eyeing that spot like crazy ever since, bro. Like, chill, Granny Seiko, you good. Okaroon ain't gonna do her no wrong. Gigi hugs his parents and he starts bawling his eyes out, but I'm glad to see that they're all good and well. We then see that they're talking about the volcano on the news, and the Kinto family has finally been arrested. Finally! Really thought that they could mess with my homegirl Momo and get away with it. But Auntie is still on the run and they really searching for her like she got the 5 stars to her name. Where the fuck is that chopper at though? We just see her tweaking out, being that she really built that worm brick by brick for 200 plus years. God damn, Auntie, yo ass is old. But she curses out Momo, saying that she ain't getting away with this, you know, shifting the blame to her per usual. And turns out she ain't even human. Who would have fucking guessed? Stating that Momo has turned all of the subterraneans into her enemy. There was always some odd about her Itoshi ass eyelashes, but I just couldn't prove it. I felt like that one nigga from Dexter for real. We then see Momo catching Okaroon walking to school, and so they end up walking together. And as they're chopping it up, talking about the evil eye situation at home, Momo's friends come in. And I like Miko, cause she's chill and all that, but this Gairu gotta chill, bro, cause why did she think that grabbing Okaroon like that was the best course of action? Low-key blocked your homegirl from releasing the shot, but they all just ended up walking to school together. Ira looks at her classmates and she isn't getting glazed no more. Thank the Lord, cause what was the hype for real? But Momo and Okaroon come in to take her on for a little walk. She acting all cute in front of everyone in the building, but dropped that act real quick when it was just them three. She starts spazzing at Momo for no reason. But that's when we see that Momo wanted to ask them if they wanted to sleep over at her crib, cause she may got that high IQ, but she can't stop Evil Eye alone if that shit happens. She also wants to lighten the burden off of Seiko and Manjiro because they're taking shifts watching Gigi while she's at school. And of course, Okaroon ain't no fool. He got the hunger. It was just the latent ability kicking in, so he's on board with it. Oh, and Ira too, I guess. As you can tell, I do not rock with Ira. She be having her little moment, and I do say moment because it's still at 1, but until I see more, she is just mad annoying to me. We then see that the seal is starting to wear off on Taro's body, so Seiko tells Taro to release his body, and Seiko just warns Gigi to be extra careful. So Okaroon and Momo are back from school. Oh, and Ira too, I guess. Acting all bougie and shit. Man, get out of here. Seiko tells everyone to strap up with the thermal so they ain't lacking if Evil Eye comes out. It's dinner time though, so they start chowing down and they just chopping it up, having their own individual convos with the person next to them. But Seiko asks Okaroon to pass the soy sauce, and as we see a drop come out of the bottle, it hits the table. But he grabbed the wrong one. So as he passes the soy sauce to her again, a drop hits Gigi's hand and Evil Eye comes in and flips the whole damn table over. And if you're anything like me, you wouldn't be worried about Momo, Okaroon, shit, even sweet Granny Seiko. You'd be worried about the damn food because it was good eats and it all went to waste. Bro opened his Renegon, everyone was straight cooked. Ira grabbed bro's arm with her hair, but he caught her kick and kicked the absolute shit out of Okaroon. Oh my goodness. But of course, the clutch master Momo comes in to splash hot water on him for him to change back. But as you can see, the house is just sheets after 4 fucking seconds. Had Okaroon laid out and all. But Momo tells Seiko that it would low-key be impossible for Gigi to avoid cold water for the rest of his life. And Seiko agrees, saying that they might not have a house by the next day. But that's when this emo-ass quartet pulls up on them. They low-key got it on though, hold on. Already posting up like they about to get flecked up, but Seiko tells them to go home. And without question nor hesitation, they leave. Low-key would be any of y'all watching this video if Seiko asked y'all to do something. But they spun back asking if Seiko lives there, and it turns out that they are the Hayashi people that Seiko hired to do the exorcism. So they're getting ready. Look at all these outlet extenders, and they're smoking too. Yeah, rip the electricity bill. Shit finna be through the roof. Or I guess through the roof that they had 4 fucking seconds ago. So they're turning on their gear, and it turns out that they aren't spirit mediums and they can't even sense spirits, but they have the power to echo their sound into the spiritual world. So Seiko starts the fire, and when I tell you that they were cooking with their performance, I don't just mean the outlets in the power box. I mean this shit was mad hard. Had the trio banging their head, had Seiko banging her head. Shit, Even had me banging my head like I was from New York, like this shit was so tough. Had all the spirits coming out of their grave for this one, but that's when Gigi tells them to stop. Seiko told Momo to hold Gigi down, but that's when she sees Evil Eye's backstory. Gigi tries to plead, saying that he'll try really hard not to use or come in contact with cold water, but it's just begging them not to kill Evil Eye. So that's when Seiko puts out the fire, takes the mic, and tells them to call off the exorcism, and that she'll have Evil Eye join her family. And I was like, what? But she's low-key building a crazy starting lineup with these spirits she got in her house at the moment. If all I gotta do to be a part of the family is to act possessed and in need or some shit, I do that shit in a heartbeat. Let me chill out real quick. So Momo asks if Seiko is dead ass, and I can't believe I'm saying this right now, but Ira is low-key speaking some facts right here, because she said that they pretty much have to babysit Gigi forever, being that there's no time date now, and now it's really just when is it gonna happen. But Okaroon says that he'll just get stronger so he can hold down Evil Eye and keep him in check. Got Momo blushing too, but she also comes in to say that she'll get stronger to lighten the burden off of Okaroon. And here comes Ira's cock blocking, not even cock blocking, coochie blocking Momo, saying that she'll get stronger to send Momo flying into the sky like Team Rocket. It starts to rain though, and the one that was sent flying was Okaroon from Evil Eye, bro. But it's getting late, so for now, they have to suck it up and just use cardboard from the supermarket to replace the walls. Gigi wakes up in the middle of the night out of his sleeping bag, and Okaroon, who is for some reason wearing a sleeping mask under his glasses, like, bro, what is the actual point? Low-key, for someone who actually wears glasses, this shit just got me so tight, bro. Cause are you not worried about them breaking in your sleep? Like, do people not toss and turn in their sleep? But he notices that Gigi went to use the washroom, so he steps out and waits outside for him and makes sure that the water is hot before letting Gigi use it to wash his hands. We then see Momo open the door just barely awake, and they just give her the thumbs up to let her know that everything's good before she shuts the door back. And I don't know why this scene was frying me so much as it did on the first watch, but I was just dying, bro. As they're about to go back to sleep, they see that the cardboard next to them is coming apart. Okaroon tells Gigi to stand back as he fixes it. Gigi apologizes again, but Okaroon tells him not to, being that they're just looking out for each other, and tells Gigi that when Turbo Granny first possessed him, he was trouble to the family too, but nonetheless, Seiko and Momo were devoted to helping and taking care of him. He also mentions that there was a time where he tried to repay them for living expenses and clothing, so he delivered some newspapers for a bit to make some cheddar cheese and give it to them. But Seiko declines the money, saying that if he felt gratitude for them taking care of them, then he should pay it back forward to someone else who's in need and in trouble, saying that's what it means to look out for each other. Oh my goodness. Seiko, this is why you're the GOAT, bro. Such an inspirational set of words. But Okaroon said that he wanted to say something cool like that, but in this case, he's only acting tough, so he's just mimicking her. We see that it's morning and Ira wakes up yawning like a bear. Oh my goodness, seriously, what is the hype to her? Anyways, we see her doing a skincare routine. High-key gotta take mine more seriously, I can't cap. Then the makeup routine. Wait a minute, this shit ain't a get ready with me, I just love how Momo is just walking around completely clueless. It's breakfast time though, and I just love how Okaroon and Momo are still in their sleeping bag. Shit, Turbo Granny too, I ain't even peeped that. Never seen a vengeful spirit with such glee on their face, bro. Ira offers Okaroon seconds, and Momo trying to get her to fill up her shit too, but she tells her to get it herself. Living under her roof, buddy, you're living within her walls, probably eating up her food too, talking about some get your own. Momo, just smack that. So they're off to school, and Ira and Momo are both playing offense and defense against each other in front of Okaroon. Okaroon, I ain't know your game was this crazy, my guy. So they make it to school, and Momo decides to get a part-time job so she can rebuild the house. And that's when homegirl recalls this girl, Ririna, I think her name is pronounced, saying that she's looking for some part-time help, and Momo's down, but her friends give her a reality check saying that she ain't cut out for employment, being that she is always arguing with bosses and shit, but she says that she's grown now. So both homegirls pull up on Okaroon and look at these smiles, bro. You can just tell that they're up to no good, bro. They tell him that Momo got a part-time job so he can go home without her. But that's when they pick bro up and say that he should go on a date with them. Okaroon, I ain't know your game was this crazy. Oh my goodness. And bro is declining while they're just dragging him out of the school, through the crosswalk, through the whole damn city, bro. What happened to no means no. My nigga said no. Leave him alone. This gotta be some form of harassment or something, bro. They're on the train and Okaroon tries to get up. Let's just sit back down, buddy. So they end up arriving at a shopping street and they force him into a Maid cafe, and Momo is working there too. And bro is just flabbergasted to see his girl in a Maid outfit. Bro low-key living the dream right now. She called him a bastard, and bro is still turned to the max. I know bro was crazy bricked under that table. I just know it. I can't exactly prove it, but I just know it. Trust. This whole shit was just a crazy ass troll by her homegirls, and it's actually so accurate on how this shit would go IRL, cause this is exactly how these niggas would be at your job, if not worse. Everything Momo was doing wasn't good enough, but hey, I'ma let it slide, cause if it wasn't for them and their lob, we'd probably have to wait rent a girlfriend type of pacing before the first kiss. So Momo's homegirls head out and they was about to take Okaroon with them, but he said that he wanted to wait until she got off of work because it's dangerous in these streets. But Momo declines his offer, pretty much blocked his shot, being that she's strong. And this is true. A regular nigga can hang with her running the ones, but Okaroon respected it and walked off. But we all know she ain't want him to leave. That face is one full of regret, I know it. But I see why she insisted on him going home, cause it was like 5:30. Brody would have had to wait for like 4.5 hours doing jack shit before she got off. Momo was staring at that clock like niggas who just got to school wanting the time to go by just to go home. And she was really putting in that hustle, that pain, that effort, but that clock was not budging one bit. You'd think that she's going insane by the type of faces that she was making throughout her shift. But after a night's work, it was 10 p.m. and she was off. And look at who was waiting for her outside. All the lights were shining in all the right places. Okaroon was really acting like her knight in shining armor. Even had his hand out for her to hold. But he tried saving himself because he thought that she wasn't going for that. He thought that he wasn't at that level yet. But Momo had faith. She really passed the ball back to bro like she was LeBron. And she took our boy's hand and started walking with him. This nigga ain't even believe he had it like that. He was flabbergasted himself. So we cut back home to Gigi's training and bro was already mastering the sit up straight or you'll get the back looking like Mr. Crocker technique. Had my boy Manjiro pushing like he had his life depending on it. And I'm sorry Manjiro, but what the actual fuck do you got on, bro? I'm sorry, this shit is not hard. This is not tough. How are you going to hang around these niggas that have some sort of fashion sense and dress like this? I'm low-key surprised Ira ain't called bro out. Seiko then makes the decision to test Gigi whether he can withstand a drop of soy sauce to try and suppress Evil Eye. Manjiro had the hot water on deck, you know he wasn't about to be lacking. He ain't trying to get kicked into another tree again. As the drop lands on Gigi's hand, this nigga Evil Eye was trying to come out like he was Sukuna when Yuji ate his finger in like episode 2, just straight tweaking, but luckily Gigi was able to suppress it. Momo and Okaroon make it back home after, and both Ira and Gigi start running up towards them, and they quickly bump into each other, and Ira's boba spilled on Gigi. Everyone was prepping the hot water, but Evil Eye popped the cursed house like a domain before he could transform fully. Not gonna lie, that shit was dumb tough. Went straight for Momo to trap her. Okaroon was begging for Evil Eye to let her go in to fight him instead. Seiko tries to use a seal, shit flaked like the next second, and he was just walking her down and grabbed her by her collar and he was about to give her a mean right hook, But this is Momo we're talking about. She always got a plan. She's locked in, caught the punch with her powers, and sent this nigga to the other side of the house. Really told him to stay 6 feet. She got a man. But he closed the distance between them by pushing the walls together. And his hands were on her throat, bro. He was ready to take her breath away, literally. But she then spits out the hot water that she happened to drink right before. And look at Gigi, bro. He was straight spooked. All the light in his eyes were gone at this moment. He tries to ask Momo if she's straight, but Okaroon pushed him out the damn way, hit him with a damn, my nigga, she says she good. We then cut to the farm where Peeny Weenie, yeah, I don't think I'll ever be able to say his name with a serious face, bro. But Okaroon came to ask him how to throw a punch, because we know that even though he has a silly ass name, his hands are no joke. But he says no, being that violence is bad. And I mean, hey, I get it. I even respect it. But what was frying me was the fact that he asked Okaroon to help him move the sacks. And Okaroon tried to make a deal with him after already moving like 90% of the sacks for him for Peeny Weenie to make him his apprentice. And, you know, a reasonable equivalent exchange. But bro flat out said no. Like, damn. Mankind can't gain something without giving in return, but I guess he's out of the equation since he's an alien, I guess. But you really just used him. He was really working overtime with no pay. We then cut to Manjiro and Seiko outside having a talk, and Manjiro, being the logical one, mentions how they're reaching their limits and for them to get another Hayashi performance going, and if she won't do the ritual prayer, then he will. And my bad, this wasn't even a convo for real, cause bro literally said what he had to said and dipped without her saying a word. But Seiko started spitting and says that as an adult, you want to burden yourself with all the kids' troubles for them to be free with nothing to worry about. But Manjiro hits this with a counter on her, saying that as an adult, it is also important to show kids what reality is. And it really had me like, damn, cause it kind of shows how both their characters are. Okaroon is practicing how to throw a punch, and I haven't read Ippo, but shit looks like he's reading Ippo. Turbo Granny was clowning bro's punches, calling them dances. He was trying to hit the Louisiana Jigger song. She asked why he was practicing how to throw a punch, and Okaroon responds saying that he wants to get stronger. Turbo Granny asks if there's someone that he wants to take off the map or some. And I'm sorry, but where in the actual hell did she equip another apple from? I know she ain't got no damn pockets on her body, bro. She thinks she adapted with the hot dog reload. But Okaroon responds to her saying that he's been pissed for a while and he wants to send Evil Eye flying. So Turbo Granny asks him the question, whether he wants to learn how to throw a punch or get stronger. Okaroon says that he wants to throw a punch so he can get strong, but that's not how it works. Turbo Granny breaks it down for him, saying that even if he could throw a punch, it wouldn't make him strong, and that Evil Eye is levels above him in both power and technique. So she asks him again, does he want to be able to throw a punch or become strong? And he answers with, become strong. So Turbo Granny was like, then follow me, little nigga, trying to act all cool and mysterious. As they make it to the school, they try and sneak in, and we see Ira already on the other side of the fence, and turns out she followed him. Oh my goodness, she really couldn't handle when Momo and him were out together just the other day. Okaroon tells her to go back cause it's dangerous in these streets, and she's being all sweet and shit. But when TG told her to go back, she popped the transformation, got in front of them, and called her a dumpling. Oh my goodness, Turbo Granny, get back, bro. Turbo Granny was fighting a losing battle, though, I can't lie. She was stepping on you, and you was still trying to swing at her like you was gonna land some. But I mean, I respect it though. They enter this music room and Ira is already dropping shit like, man, this is why you should have stayed your ass home. Turbo Granny was behind the keys telling Okaroon to jump, and then she made fun of bro jumping. TG is such a troll, bro. I don't even know how they've been tolerating her rage bait for this long. TG then breaks it down to Okaroon, saying that Ira and Evil Eye can do a 4 switch in a beat, but Okaroon can only manage 2. So, to put it simply, Okaroon is slow as shit. But That's when we see this big-headed ass ghost playing some ass on the keys, brought them back to the black and white manga panels, and turns out he ain't alone, cause he got a bunch of big-headed ass unks with him who are also asking who's making filthy notes, like they aren't the ones playing ass behind those instruments. Ira finally having a good idea for once in that noggin of hers to play dumb and go home, but Turbo Granny puts them on blast as the ones making the noise. They start playing some shit and they send a barrage of music notes at them, but Okaroon gets hit, revealing that they're actually bombs. Big-headed ass nigga on the piano hits a domain expansion and brought him to the plantation. Nigga, what? Turbo Granny gives him the heads up to dodge the notes. This nigga Okaroon got hit, but I respect it, keeping the nonchalant act in front of the huzz. They start increasing the tempo, but Ira low-key weaving them. Hold on, I know I be hating, but she might just gain some respect out of me today. Okaroon is just running and he got hit with a music note to the jaw. Started sounding straight out of Looney Tunes. He then gets hit with a rest note. Stop this nigga right in his tracks. It is not this nigga's day today, bro. Got one tap twice by Evil Eye. Girl almost got slimed out, and now this TG was pressing him and got hit with one herself. Dandadan is so funny, bro. But ain't shit funny now cause they just got boomed on the spot. Knocked bro out of his transformation and all. He was just praising Ira and talking down on himself, but Turbo Granny was telling bro to quit it with all that crying and whining and to lock in. All Okaroon has to do is recall a song and move his body to his own rhythm, but this nigga doesn't listen to music, so he doesn't know any songs, which is mad crazy to me because this series has so many banger songs like openings and endings, and we have a character that just doesn't listen to music at all. Like, are you kidding me? Okaroon, when I see you, bro, I'ma put you on to Lil Tecca. Guarantee your body finna be bumping to that shit. But in this moment, Okaroon remembers the Hayashi performance and how tough that shit was. And as Ira's feet get trapped in the soil from all that running and weaving, we see Okaroon come in to save her before she got blown into smithereens. The old head starts spamming at Okaroon, but now he knows what rhythm is. He is moving different. Literally, he is weaving them notes. Ira used her hair to bring down one of the old heads, kicked this nigga's head, spun it clean off too. Damn, these niggas pose up for a flick too for the extra aura points. Oh my gosh, that shit is through the roof right now. So the Unks start playing some a little different, some that these youngins ain't hear before. But Okaroon and Ira start charging at them, and that's when they hit them with a second domain expansion. Is this even heard of? It's probably their complete domain or some shit. But now they're in an opera house, and they said choir assemble. There's a quartet of giants starting to erupt from the ground. This nigga got crazy vocals though, I can't lie. But then crowds of people start coming out of the other three's mouths. Honestly, what is Dandadan even about anymore, bro? I am convinced that the author treats this series like a doodle sketchbook or some shit, bro, because anything that comes to mind is just being put onto paper. As Okaroon and Ira are managing to keep the crowd at bay, TG tells him not to focus on them and to mark the musicians who are on stage. They quickly get surrounded though, so Ira tells Okaroon to give him his hand. I just know it was an excuse to hold his hand. I can't prove it, but I just know. She uses her hair to lasso onto one of the giants, and right when they land on his head, the other two giants next to him slime their boy out, trying to knock two birds with one stone. Ira and Okaroon manage to escape it, but she then kicks Okaroon out of the way so she can deal with them and for him to stop the musicians. But they smack her ass down to the ground like she was a fly. She still got some left in the tank though, so she locks back in. Not gonna lie, Ira, you have been promoted. I like this type of hustle out of you, bro. Okaroon starts charging at the musicians and weaving, but more people start coming out of the other levels of the house. Ira is swinging around like she's Spider-Man or something, pretty much getting the giants to murk each other. And she was moving crazy. Even old girl here was shocked. Not too long before she jaw checked her ass, got her looking like Clarence. Okaroon starts showing out too. Hold on. Using this crowd as a launch pad, split kick these niggas, hit a 3-for-1 combo too, and he's just running through these niggas. Like, look at this movement. God damn. Leaps into the air, lands, and W keys towards the stage. Okaroon can only go full throttle twice, so a blast per person won't cut it. But that's when TG told bro, surpass your limits, fuck nigga. 5 switches in 1 beat. Can you do it? And that's when Okaroon locks in, starts running like he never ran before towards the stage, and knocks Beethoven and them out of there. We then go back to the house, and Manjiro breaks it down to Gigi that he's already called the Hayashi performance to come back and that he'll do the prayer ritual himself. But that's when Okaroon comes and tells Gigi to come outside. Full Govy too, you can tell that this nigga was not playing no games, goddamn. But that's when they go outside, and Okaroon told these niggas to stand back, saying that he was finna beat the bricks off of Evil Eye. Momo said she was finna get pissed, but big Okaroon ain't playing no type of games. He was pissed. He was tired of Evil Eye bitching him, bitching his girl, and with that, they run it back and clash. And they was already getting into it, and I was like, slow down. Okaroon kicks Evil Eye back, Evil Eye hits him with a Uno reverse, and both their fists clash with each other. Tobo Granny holding on for dear life back there. You good, Mud? Okaroon ducks the kick and clashes with Evil Eye again. Knocks him back though. Tries to get him with a sweep. Evil Eye jumped into the air like a gymnast and tried to stomp Okaroon into the ground. He was really trying to put bro 6 feet under. Literally, no troll, no exaggeration, all seriousness. Okaroon rolls back and hits him into the air with the handstand of doom and despair. Sent a barrage of grudge balls at... Hold up. When did this nigga have this in his arsenal? Are we just trying out new shit on round 2, huh? Shit low-key look like a firework. Or a sperm cell, depending on how wholesome and clueless you are. Okaroon ain't worried though, charged right at him through the barrage. Got faked with a smoke screen though, and Evil Eye was about to hit bro with the 100% charged right hook of terror, but Okaroon matched it with his feet, and crazy how his grippers actually caught it though. And off one hand too, who is this nigga feeling like all of a sudden? But it looks like they're evenly matched. They go at it again, clashing with each other. Evil Eye sent grudge balls Okaroon's way, but he twirled through that shit. Oh my goodness, now he got the exaggerated swagger of a black teen. Ducked the left, and Okaroon got right under him to send him flying with them super squats. Evil Eye ain't done though, and he threw his cursed house on Okaroon. But sadly, this wasn't Okaroon no more. It was Big O. Turned the surrounding area red. Spawned over Evil Eye and had the biggest smile on his face. Yeah, we already knew it was over for that, bro. Kicked this nigga down to the ground, landed in front of him, and he indeed went all out. W keyed this nigga and hit him with the headbutt of doom into that house. That house was no more. So Okaroon is out of his transformation now, and Evil Eye is just laughing and smiling with blood coming out of his mouth, saying, "It's only getting started. Head ab, boy." The others are on standby, but if Okaroon tags them in, they'd have to exercise Evil Eye later. Okaroon was shaken too, he can't go for round 3. And that's when Evil Eye gets up and close and says that he hates waiting. Damn, the height diff is absolutely insane. Got him looking like Gohan and Boo. But that's when Okaroon hits bro with the rage bait, saying that he doesn't want to bully weaklings, and it genuinely and wholeheartedly worked. He even got Evil Eye to sign a 360 deal with the ISA residents and made him promise to only fight him. Momo asks TG what's going on, but that's when we see that there was more to their convo before she took Okaroon to the school, and that Okaroon had a theory, being that since Evil Eye is still like a newborn, he doesn't really know right from wrong, and due to this he thinks that murdering is the same as being playful. So Okaroon wanted to become stronger to essentially become Evil Eye's playmate. Okaroon and Evil Eye finally agree to have one fight per week after school on Tuesdays. I don't know why they picked Tuesdays, but hey. And that's when Evil Eye takes off his boxers and says that they want to kill him. Why are we blaming the boxers, bro? They ain't do nothing wrong. And gives it to Okaroon, saying that he should keep it until he kills him. And with that, Okaroon pretty much saved Gigi. My question is, what is Gigi's thing looking like down there if it got Seiko to compliment him and it got Manjiro dropping his jaw like this? Wait, hey, yo. So we see the aftermath of everything, with Manjiro going back to the temple with Evil Eye's underwear for safekeeping. I don't know what he really about to do with that shit. He even decided to take the bootuber thing seriously though, and after seeing Okaroon wipe the floor with Evil Eye, he realized that dreams really do come true. So I'ma wish him the best of luck with that. Gigi's parents pull up and look at Turbo Granny already eyeing at the food. God damn, she really couldn't take her eyes off of it. She knew she had to have it. Seiko apologizes though to Gigi's parents, being that now they got another ghost ass son, but it's all good. Seiko, you did all you could. Seiko tells Gigi though to keep it up with his chi training, but with that, they are also off. I also commend Gigi for being the one to keep waving even when no one is looking. Real friend. Ira and Okaroon also start to make their way out. I don't know where the hell Okaroon is going. Like, he don't stay at the ISA resort 7 days a week. Bro really acting like he got a home and parents to go to. I'm dead. Momo trying to be all flirty with Okaroon, being like, is that all? But Ira's back to coochie blocking her ass with them shots. So we back with the Ira hate. Temporarily though, she high-key starting to grow on me. So now it's just Seiko, TG, Taro's ball, I low-key forgot her name, don't kill me, and Momo with no house to go back into and rest. So the motive is to head to the super bathhouse. And my, oh my, I mean, they're really just chilling, savoring this moment. I like how Taro's ball is included, even though she couldn't really soak in the bath with the rest or hop in the massage chair. But peep the way she looks at Seiko while she's in the bath, bro. She is no better than me. She is no better than Noah. She is no better than none of us. As they're finished with their little spa day, Momo asks Seiko about what they're gonna do about the house. And Seiko proceeds to say, oh yeah, we're just gonna rebuild that shit, I get. Rebuild? Why are you saying that shit like it's so easy? Like we did this shit before. Relax, it'll be light, trust. We really gotta do this shit brick by brick, grandma. Yup, brick by brick. As they're walking back to their rubble of a house, we see this Minecraft Steve looking ass nigga posted up waiting for them, and their first instinct is to kick the shit out of him. Like grandmother, like granddaughter. This is also very valid behavior, cause I'll be damned if I get lit up by a Steve looking ass nigga cause I decided to be a decent but clueless human being trying to be civil. We then see Okaroon, Ira, Peeny Weenie, and Chiquita back, and they're here to help rebuild the crib. Minecraft Steve's name is actually Mr. Ludrus. He's actually friends with Peeny Weenie, and he's here to help. Seiko trying to act all humble, rejecting their help, but with Okaroon's persistence, she lets them repay her and lend a hand. We're then introduced to Nanoskin, and you can pretty much make anything that comes to mind with this shit, and they managed to rebuild that shit by nightfall. This was deadass real life Minecraft in creative mode. I really hope that they made upgrades to their crib, cause I feel like that really would have been a wasted opportunity if they did not. They can deadass make anything with it though. They really could have added a Porsche 911 GT3RS and a garage in their shit. We then cut to Gigi's mom whipping the truck like she in Tokyo Drift. Oh my goodness. And she's making Gigi catch up to them on foot. Oh nah. And calls his ass slow too. Yeah, we don't need a DNA test for this. Gigi is just a more diluted version of her. But I do fuck with her energy. They make it to the ISA residence, and poor Gigi got this guy wheezing. This actually has to be some sort of child abuse. But obviously, they're confused because they're standing in front of a house instead of a pile of rubble that was just there the other day. But Momo comes out telling them to keep it down, being that Seiko is sleeping. Momo and Gigi are walking to school together, and it turns out he's actually transformed into Evil Eye a few times in between, but he's actually kept his word to Okaroon about only running the ones with him on Tuesdays after school. These girls walk up to Gigi, being that they were concerned because he was away for a bit, and they offer him this new Pompey flavor, and with no hesitation, this nigga Gigi drank it. This nigga gotta be slow or something, like type to fall for his laces being untied while wearing Crocs type of dumb, bro. Surprisingly though, he has his clothes on. At least he don't gotta worry about his meat getting leaked or some shit. Momo tries walking Evil Eye away from the girls, but bro saw a football and immediately started sprinting towards it. Nigga really smelt a goal like he was Isaki Yoichi. Bro ended up kicking the ball so hard, he sent everyone and they mama to the back of the net. Ego, if you don't recruit this nigga, Baratata might, and I do not want to live to see the day that the Baratata 3 can actually beat the Blue Lock 11. And I also forgot that everyone can't see spirits, so they're really just seeing Gigi's face while he's seeing the most craziest shit like he trying to boom them all and take them off the map. Momo tries to find something hot to transform him back to Gigi, but conveniently, everything hot is sold out, so she just gotta deal with it for now. But as she's talking with her homegirls, we find out that Okaroon's other ball is in a housing complex. I don't even know how it got there. I honestly forgot that he was walking around with one testicle. I wouldn't even wish that on my worst enemy. I'ma keep it a buck. We then get introduced to Big Homie right here, and turns out this nigga has been a side character for a minute, and I refuse to believe he's been witnessing Momo and Okaroon's relationship from the get-go of season 1, cause Dandadan always be retconning to introduce a character, but it just feels like I'm being gaslit, cause I do not even remember seeing a person with glasses in the entire show. Turns out that this nigga is basically a hater and wants Okaroon to put him onto his game cause it looked like he bagged Momo, but she ends up barging into the classroom herself talking about Okaroon's other nut and that they should go investigate and get it back. But this girl tells Momo that she can't be barging into the classroom being that people are trying to study. And I mean, I understand that, that's pretty respectable, but then she starts acting like Momo is taking Okaroon captive. I swear, we enter a new arc and we get an additional cog blocker or coochie blocker introduced to us. Like, leave them alone, god damn. Thank God that this nigga came in talking about some 10-gallon weenie on some lame shit to sort of throw them off and de-escalate the situation. Oh, his name is Kinto, if I ain't mentioned that already or it wasn't mentioned before. We cut to Okaroon and Momo at the apartment complex, and this nigga Kinto is following them. Bro trying to learn Riz like one of the great quotes from the founding fathers ain't say, if you weren't invited, don't ask to go, like god damn. And oh my goodness, look at that double chin. Why is he built like he got no neck? I'm also really concerned for bro, because his problem is that two friends that are completely comfortable with each other can say some weird shit to each other, but he can't do the same thing with Momo when he hasn't interacted with Momo a day in his life. But yeah, someone please watch this nigga and make sure he doesn't harass no woman in the future. He then slips up and gets himself caught by them, and as he tries to play it off, he starts floating, a domain expansion gets released, and he gets launched at the two. He ain't even worried about being thrown or his well-being. He was just focused on the fact that he'd be able to kiss Momo, but...
Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup, blocked by James!
My dog Okaroon came in with the block of the century. But now it's them and Okaroon's other nut, and they waste no time. Momo tries to grab it, but apparently that shit is Weed Nation certified. Okaroon tries to grab it himself, but he can't. Like the ball got Gojo's Infinity or something, but he then gets repelled away. But leads them to the conclusion that it ain't a yokai, being that it has a physical body. It gets to retreating, so Okaroon and Momo try to follow it up the stairs and shit, and while they're trying to look for it, it knocks Momo to the ground and completely pieces up Okaroon. Oh my goodness. Momo does manage to get a hit in, and Okaroon trying to get his hits in, but it sent bro back to the rooftop. God damn, we saw Okaroon piecing up Evil Eye last episode, and now his other nut is making him look like fodder, making him look like sheets. It falls back down, so Momo tells Okaroon to grab onto her like she was paying for his shit and gave her the broke boyfriend hug. And as she's swinging like Tarzan across the complex, the ball came back just to knock them off the building. But luckily, Momo saved them with their powers to cushion the fall. They then hear Kinto screaming, so they run back up the complex to try and save him, and they see bro falling off the building, but of course, Momo saves him in time. Kinto trying to put in work like if he wasn't about to splat on the ground like a grape a second ago. I love the hustle though. And I also love how this nigga fell in slow motion after trying to charge at it. It was low-key killing me, I can't lie. I like the pain that he was putting in though. I'ma keep it a buck. He was really chasing that shit down too. I don't know why Okaroon was ringing the doorbell as if the ball was gonna open it and serve bro some fried rice with mixed vegetables and barbecue pork. But Momo comes in swinging, and she actually manages to get a visual on it and grab it thanks to Kinto's callouts, leaving Okaroon to go full throttle on it, knocking that shit out of the building complex. They then see that it's a kaiju, so they turn around to go downstairs to get a closer look, which does confuse me because they were already swinging from floor to floor. Like, why couldn't they just do that here? But hey, I'm just the consumer. But it starts transforming. Okaroon turns around to see a kaiju staring him down through the hole in the wall, and now it's a fully fledged Godzilla. Bro really saw the death battle video and had something to prove. So they're just running for their lives right now. They look into the sky and they realize that this ain't no normal kaiju, but it's a space kaiju. And I just love the synchronized run that they do with every bigger foe that they've encountered. It gets me every time, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, it's perfect for the what the fuck is this show even about type scenario. Ira then hears a roar in the distance, and Gigi comes in saying that Momo and Okaroon disappeared while he turned to Evil Eye, but Ira tells him that it's best that they regroup up with Momo. But that's when they see Momo right in front of them, telling them to run for their lives as they see a giant alien kaiju tailing behind them. The kaiju took one step and it made Kinto fall on his face, and he was about to be stomped on like a bug if it wasn't for the school trio to stop the kaiju and quickly get him out of there. So the game plan is for Gigi to take Kinto to safety and the rest to fight with the kaiju, and they'll regroup at the ISA residence. Ira tries to land a hit on the kaiju, shit was ineffective. Ira then gets up behind it though and blinds it with her hair, and she low-key had it in check if it didn't start charging up this green beam to fry them, forcing them to take cover. So it hits a battle call trying to let them know that it wants all the smoke and that they're all pussy. I mean, I'm not too sure, I don't exactly speak prehistoric, but that's what I feel like it said. Ira ain't trying to hear all that though, so she jumps in, hits it with a car, and knocked that nigga off balance. Momo goes low for the toes, and it had it on all fours. Celebrated too early, almost got whipped by its tail. They did manage to evade it though. Ira high-key standing on all 10 right now. I guess she got something to prove or some shit. She want to be my favorite character so bad she decided to lock in. Grab the crane, grab the building, and smack the kaiju with the crane. God damn. The kaiju wasn't done in though. Pushed that shit off of it, grabbed Ira, and I thought she was about to be kaiju nuggets. But Momo is throwing signs at the kaiju to bait it. Ira recuperates, breaks free from the grip. Ira tries to find other cover, and the kaiju is looking for her, and bro was looking tight. He was looking like that one red shirt kid. So he started smashing random buildings in the vicinity, and bro ain't done. He sends another green beam that ends up hitting Okaroon and Momo. Luckily, Momo put up a shield before it was about to cook him. Okaroon hits an analysis, and that if they can get to the light source, they might be able to stop it, which Ira quickly follows up, knowing that she'll have to keep it distracted. Momo then holds the beam and hits an Azula redirect, frying the kaiju. As Ira is about to get her licks in too, the kaiju is nowhere to be seen. Hey, where did that big old thing go? She dropped her guard though, but the kaiju was plotting. Started stomping towards her while being invisible, and she would have been packed up if it wasn't for Okaroon's comms. Had her hitting the Aang against the stone. Ira ain't believe it was invisible, but she was about to believe it now, cause all she saw was the green beam to her dome. It was low-key emoting on her ass too. We cut to Gigi and Kinto, and Gigi tells Kinto, hey bro, don't get your sweat on me. And instead of being a decent ass nigga, he rubs his face against Gigi's. And as we know, cold liquid equals evil eye. But luckily, Gigi was able to suppress it. And then the next moment, this nigga shakes all his sweat onto Gigi. Yeah, I just have to off myself real quick after that. Like, that is literally trash juice equivalent type disgusting. Evil Eye chucks Gigi's bag into the air. Yeah, you're never seeing that shit again. Imagine trying to explain that to your teacher though. Yeah, you are cooked the next morning. Evil Eye gets the wrong idea, being that today is the fight day with Okaroon, so he starts happily running towards the ISA residence with Kinto tailing him. First TG and now Evil Eye. These yokai got too much glee for the life of them. Or for the death of them. I'm not too sure because they're kind of ghosts, but yeah. The kaiju was about to put Ira 6 feet under, literally and metaphorically, but Okaroon came in with a save. But since he went full throttle twice, he starts falling back down in panic, but Momo catches them. She tries to pull them in, but the kaiju kept trying to clap them like they were flies. But we see Gigi's bag come in, knocking this nigga to the ground. Yeah, not gonna lie. Sub Evil Eye in, and Godzilla gon' be looking like a lizard real quick. But they get to retreating. They make it to the ISA residence, and we see that Ira was faking it along the way. Oh my goodness, how low will she go just to touch my dog's Okaroon? Seiko ain't home though, so it's just them, and the kaiju is just walking towards their ends. But Okaroon gets an idea of using the nanoskin against the kaiju. We know that the house is now entirely made up of nanoskin, and that it'll give shape to whatever they imagine. Okaroon couldn't imagine for shit though, but Kinto comes through, being that this is kind of sort of his domain. And once I saw everyone getting sent into their own control rooms, I just knew that they were about to go full Power Rangers mode and made a whole Buddha looking Megazord. And just in time, cause the kaiju is right in front of them. But there is one problem though. They don't know how to move it. So Momo suggests that they all just press a random button at the same time. I don't know where the hell her head was at with this one, because this was by far the worst thing y'all could do in this situation. And we see that it did indeed just do straight bullshit. Kinto then looks at the manual and realizes a lever. The mech took one step, tripped over the power line, looking like a goof. But the kaiju ain't on that goofy type of time, and that nigga was feeding for a fade. Kicked the shit out of the mech and sent it flying. And oh no, it wasn't done just there. Grabbed it with its tail, and we switched to Okaroon getting launched out of the mech from earlier, and all he could do was watch as the rest get pummeled. We then see Evil Eye destroy his way out of the mech. The kaiju stomped on him. He lifted it up with his bare hands and had it on its back the next second. What did I say? Evil Eye would have had this kaiju looking like a lost lizard. Or a dismembered one. My bad. I try to keep it PG, but come on, it's Evil Eye. We all know what type of timing he's on. So the kaiju starts beaming the mech point blank, and Okaroon stressed as shit because his girl is still in there. Which is funny to me because two separate human beings are also in that mech, and this guy is only concerned for his girl. I mean, hey, who can blame him? So the kaiju was about to crush the mech under its foot, and Okaroon was about to tag Evil Eye in. But that's when Kinto catches the foot and figures out that he can just imagine and visualize the movement of the mech. Had that kaiju on its back like a turtle. So he reconstructs and transformed the mech to some sort of modern looking ass Buddha.
Yo, what the fuck is you even yapping about?
Don't ruin my clip, ho. Oh nah, this brother is locked in. So both the mech and kaiju charged straight towards each other, and Kinto hit it with a crazy gut check, sending it back. The kaiju grabs him by the arm with its tail and was really like, get over here. But Kinto used it to his advantage and gave that beast a mean right hook. And Okaroon was acting just like me. This nigga was on a roll. I don't know what the fuck Evil Eye doing though over here. Hit him with the whatcha right kick. The kaiju started using the beam, and Kinto was like, hold this shit, nigga. Even had that kaiju asking the Lord for a lob, but the mech lost an arm on round 2. But Kinto wasn't tripping though. Picked that shit up and chucked it right at the kaiju. And just pause this frame right here. This might just be the craziest right hook if I've ever seen one. Reattached that arm and started tornadoing the kaiju back into the city. Wasted no time, charged into the city and gave it a left hook of doom. The kaiju tries to go low and chomp them toes, but Kinto backs away and gave that nigga a right hook again. It was not looking too good for this Godzilla motherfucker right here. Started grabbing it like it was an alligator from Florida, but that's when the kaiju took the chance and beamed the mech point blank to the dome, sending Kinto into a flashback. Pretty much, this nigga was shunned and bullied for liking Gundam sets because he's supposed to be too old for that shit. Get on with that shit, man. I don't get that shit. Gundam sets look mad cool, and just the other day, I saw a father and a son walk out of the store with a whole bunch of them. Like, shit, I might as well cop one too. But he gets back up, charges straight towards the kaiju as he declares his love for robots, leaped into the air, and gave it a mean bonk. Yeah, the kaiju for sure has CTE now. And I am not lying. Look at this. Bro's dome was straight cooked. but Kinto came in, did a handstand on it, and it was game. Or so I thought. It turned invisible, tried sneaking Kinto, and bro was just getting mopped from here. The Kaiju was about to deliver the final blow, but Clutch Master Momo comes in and stops the Kaiju with her powers, revealing that the robot can actually use the abilities of the pilots in it. Ira used her hair to wrap the Kaiju so it can be seen, and hold on, cause when has Ira looked this damn good? And Momo was done getting tossed around. Grabbed that Kaiju, sent it into the sky, and slammed that nigga to the ground to put an end to it. The empty pocket space disappears though, so now they're in the middle of the city with everyone taking pictures of it, you know, for the gram, you know, for the TikTok, and I'm not lying, they really caught the transformation in 4K. But as you can see, Momo messed up imagining her house on a UFO so they can go back to her property in the mountains. They end up leaving Okaroon behind by accident, and he decides to bring the Kaiju with him. So Okaroon buys a hot bun, has Evil Eye eat it so he can transform back to Gigi, and why is bro hitting the dog man from One Punch Man? Let's be serious. So they manage to carry and bring back the Kaiju to the ISA residence, and as Okaroon is inspecting it, he freaks out being that he saw something in the Kaiju's mouth, and he sees a zipper and unzips the suit, revealing a girl. And when Momo comes out of the house trying to get Kinto to help fix the house, she sees this girl taking her man's first kiss. Both Gigi and Kinto were shocked as hell. Girl was so shocked, she blew up the whole damn house. But that ends the episode as well as the season. Oh my goodness, cliffhanger of doom. Now, I am pretty sure season 3 was just officially announced, and I'm excited for what else this series has in store, because I ended up binge reading the next arc, and that might just be the most action-packed Dandadan will be getting. Streets are saying we gotta wait till 2027 though, but hey, I don't know. If y'all did enjoy this video though, then please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and comment down below what your thoughts on the episode are and your favorite moment from the season. Also, don't forget to follow the socials like the Instagram and the Twitter, and be sure to join the Discord to be a part of the community. All links are in the description down below, and without further ado, I hope you guys have a great day, and see ya.